Hey you guys, it's Dana with the Curly Hair Salon. We are trimming Erica's hair today. This should be interesting to show you guys because this is just a maintenance cut. And so actually when you look at her hair, it's like, oh my gosh, your hair is amazing. It looks fantastic. What are you doing here? So like the things that you're going to see, can I turn you around? Okay. So the things that you're going to see is actually how this is heavy. So I like my layers to always be completely seamless and just effortless. And what we start running into is this gets a little chunky. Do you notice that when it happens?
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Where did I acquire you? Was it at Publix? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You were just trying to get your groceries, but I'm like, no, let's get your curls.
Yes.
Okay, so it starts to get chunky, right? Because how long has this been? 3 months? 4?
3.
Okay, so this is 12 weeks. My maintenance coming every 12 weeks. So it's just getting a little bit chunky. So we're going to make just a few changes to keep it looking as fabulous and consistent. And it's storming here. It's a super bad weather day, and you guys see how perfect her curls look. Because with curly hair, humidity should be your good hair days, not your bad. So I'm going to do other videos on sectioning, horizontal breakdown, yada yada, stuff like that. I can't get this where I want it. The camera. So I'm going to do different videos on that, you guys. So I'm not really going to, I'll try not to. I'll say I'm not going to talk through that, but don't threaten me with a good time. I'll talk through anything. Okay. So it's not just willy-nilly. I'm not just, free-form sectioning out behind her ear. I'm always measuring. Do you feel me when I do that?
Yeah.
I'm always going to, again, refer to the other video. If you are watching this to try to do any haircuts, then absolutely start with a sectioning video, okay? To understand how I did that. Because I'm always measuring out from a certain point on her cartilage up to her high point. Okay. So, yeah, you can tell, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just pop that on. Yay. Okay. So, basically I'm just going to dust across her bottom really quick. This guy, all this has to go. This is showing. This is showing now, yeah. This stuff has to go. Do you see how that's getting a little bit stringy? So, I'm not pulling down. I don't have tension on this. I like to cut, I cut dry so that I don't have any surprises. And so I don't really have any tension on that. Do you see how much better already? See, this is starting to look thin down here and stringy. So just that tiny bit didn't make it any shorter, but it completely kind of like thickened that up so all her curls look thicker now. I'm going to come in. I'm not really pulling that down. See, my hands are loose. So dust these ends off for her perimeter.
Here's an app. You're going to have to get it because I want you to bump it because you have to download it through iTunes.
Oh, okay.
But there's an app I found for you.
Okay.
It says it's great for YouTube.
Perfect. Okay, you guys.
Pretty girls.
Oh, they're fantastic. Do you wake up like this? Do you have to do much in the mornings these days?
Not a lot.
Fantastic. That is what I expect from my clients. Okay, so I just kind of thickened up that bottom a little bit. I can't get the camera where I want it. So I'm going to go into doing some round layers with her, you guys. Y'all are going to hear me talk about that and do that a lot. Okay. So, let's see. I'm just actually going to turn myself instead. So, I am up and over. I come back. And I'm just going to keep a straight finger position on this. I don't really need it longer towards her face or towards her back. I'm not really trying to get any angles in here. So I'm just going to go up. And this is going to wrap and lay upon her head. See, this is what it would look like from over here. This is going to wrap and lay upon her head. And then I'm going to step back to where I'm cutting it back here where it lives. You guys, I will actually do, stay straight up for me. I will do videos on this, and I'll go over all those things like individual, not during a haircut. So those will be other ones. It's just hard for me because I'm so used to, educating, and so it's hard to just do it and not say what I'm doing and why when I'm actually doing it. Okay? So do you see how that's going to pop this up and give this volume? And then it's opening up all this back here. Okay, so as good as it looked before, look how much better that's laying now. So that's it, right? Because I did this whole back, so I did perimeter, then I did this entire back, the round layers. I can do just a smidge more right there. Same thing over here. I can get that. That was the bottom. It's definitely not a deal breaker. Okay, so I'm going to move and do the same on your side. So always I am going to section out her fringe so that it's not a part of this. I like to save it for the end to get myself in a tight spot. And always get out with this fringe. I'll show you guys that in a minute where that's coming from. Again, it'll be with the other videos. You can do all this with her round layers. That's up and over. Right here, straight off her head. There's the back. That's my guide. That's going to be right here. This song takes me back to an 80s song when it first starts. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Right? it's like a, oh God, how old are you?
26.
Oh, it was back, let's see, I'm 33. Oh, God, girl, I'm 33. I'm not, I'm 38. Someone! It took me back to like Stevie B and all those guys. I don't know if you know anything about Stevie B.
Yeah.
Do you? So was that not so Stevie B-ish?
It was.
It was Stevie B, and then who did Return of the Mac? That was not
Oh
Stevie
gosh,
B.
you asked me too fast.
Trivia question, you guys leave it in the comments. Hey, you guys, will y'all Google who did Return of the Mac? Mac. You're too young. Mac. Like, oh, I'm going to get my Mac on. Return of the Mac.
Song by Mark Morrison.
Mark Morrison? What? Okay.
Don't you know? I don't know what it sounds like, but that's it. Comes up with Warren G. like WD, and this is how we do it.
Okay. Let's see if I can move this without throwing my phone. All right.
Sounds about right.
Well, there was Stevie B and one other. It definitely wasn't him, but it's kind of in that vein. Anyway, so you guys remember how this layer got a little chunky? And it's because it's a different kind of curl. So I did her round layers through here, but now I'm going to come up on this top piece, and I'm going to do this up above the horizontal 90, and you see my finger position. So it just looks like, oh, hey, just regular, you know, finger position, but it's not, because if you take a look, this will be longer than this. Do you guys see it? Because this hair is traveling further than this is. And so that's going to let me keep that layer long, right? So that's going to let me keep that layer long, but then, so it hits down here, but then it starts to go shorter. So that's just kind of like teasing that out and separating it so it doesn't all land in a big chunk right here, you know? So that's what's going on with this guy, bringing it up. I'm going to take off this top. Okay, so long, and do you see how it diffuses? It diffuses this layer. That's what I want to do with that. Okay, so the other side I'm going to do it where you can see what I'm doing from the other front. But I know that I can kind of see in the camera right here the way it's separated out that layer, because this gets real heavy right here towards her face. And we definitely don't want any of those shelfy layers when we have curly hair. So this side doesn't do it as bad, but I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to prevent it. So again, did I do both sides? Yeah. Change one thing and I lose it all. Okay. So I'm going to come up with this, and again, it's here. I know her hair is long and I can't keep adjusting the camera. So my angle, I'm holding it straight up, I'm holding it up and diagonal, but my finger angle is this. It's just straight across, but then it makes it from long to short. Pop off that tip. Okay, so it is going to allow that to hit and spread out those layers right through here. Okay, front. Let's go ahead and do the front with it showing. I didn't know you signed up for this today, did you? Bright lights and everything. Here you are. Okay, so you guys see how this is chunky? Yeah, that's definitely not okay. But again, this is 3 months. And look at how well it held up. So on this piece, now I've already got it sectioned, remember? It was the part that I told you to see the sectioning videos on. So this is this fringe. Look down for me. This is this fringe, it lives right here. So for the video's sake, I will use more clips. Okay, so I'm going to kind of accelerate with my shears as I'm decelerating with my hair, okay? So I like to kind of like talk with the shears. So the shears are moving up the hair as I'm moving the hair down. It's actually a lot easier if you just look at it and don't listen to that explanation. So I'm talking with my shears like this, just barely rocking them. This is stationary and just this is moving. It's also 80s today, do you hear this? Alright, fine. So, oh so barely, you guys, she doesn't need a huge shaping on this. So, do y'all see what that's doing? Because this is the section, right? So here's the length on this fringe, and all this is just what lives on top and makes it heavy, okay? So, do not get that twisted. I am not sliding my shears, oh my gosh. That would be like tearing her hair. That kind of slide cutting can work on straight hair, but with curly hair, you start doing that and it's going to frizz this whole front piece, right? So, I'm going to go ahead today just for funsies. See what is in my head. You don't know that I'm doing things just for the fun of it. Does that sound scary when it comes to your hair? So I'm just going to go and I'm bringing this over directly to the other side.